Lord be with you. And with your spirit. There were some of you that said it wrong. Raise your hand. Who said it wrong? Who said it wrong? Excuse me. When was the last time you've been to church? Come on. Stand up. Stand up. When was the last time you've been to church? No excuse! The fact that you even had to sit there and go, probably just means that you didn't know that we got these little plastic cards we got to walk around with, right? We got all these cards, and there's that word in there, that Constantinople. What's the word? Anybody? Anybody? What's the word? Raise your hand. Okay, so here's the problem. Here's the problem. Yes, Jack, that was awesome. So here's the deal. So if I wanted a response from you, and I wanted everyone to say it, I would have gone like this. What's the word? Yeah, see? I didn't do this. Okay? I did this. Okay? If I say this, that means I need you to do this, not just scream it out. How am I going to know? How am I going to know you want to answer the question? So that's one of the rules. If I ask a question, and I do this, that means I want a response, right? Okay, and if I do this, then I don't want anybody to scream it out, because then everybody knows the answer. Unless, of course, you were wrong. So, I just want you to know that when I became a nun, I and other sisters would say, we did a vow of poverty. We did a vow of poverty. What that means is that all the money that I get, the money just pours all over me, right? And what I do is I just keep everything that I just need. Just like water and a little bit of bread. And I give all the rest away. Well, it's kind of like Obama here, so it's only fair that everybody does the same. So a vow, we do a vow of poverty, right? I'm going to have to go visit the little nun's room. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. This is going to be a test. You ready already? The first one is baptism. Oh, you got it. Okay, the first one is. I didn't hear anybody, but only 2 people knew the answer. So it's just pretty darn scary when everyone just said the answer. Do you have a question? You gotta go to the bathroom? What's going on? Go to the bathroom? We just started. Yeah, come on up. You gotta get this. Come on. No, you gotta get this. Yeah, go ahead. Discuss baptism, and then later on we're going to have a test. And everything I tell from now on until the next sacrament, she's just not going to know the answer. So, just, try to hold it if you can, but it was obvious she needed to get out of here. We've come a long way. I mean, if we think about John the Baptist and our Lord's baptism, there's 2,000 years ago, and you're going in this river, right? And they didn't have any, pollution control or anything like that. So, there's a village like a half a mile up, and there's stuff floating by, and John the Baptist is probably saying, we're going to dunk you completely, and the Lord's like, can't you just put a little water on my floor? So we went from Jesus going in there, and there's fish biting at him, and there's diseases, so probably got an ear infection, right? To being thank you. Okay, I hope that's enough for the day. Okay, so we've come a long way. We've come from Jesus, he's in the water, ear infections and stuff, into a heated baptismal font with waterfalls. I mean, what's next? We may as well just have a jacuzzi. Just put a big old jacuzzi out there and we'll baptize. I mean, heck, we can have the Eucharist there too, have a little wine, get some bubbles. There is one person who was not born with original sin, who that was. Raise your hand. Somebody said it. Who said it? So, I just went through this whole thing. This and this, right? You can sit down, but I hope if you know the stories right, so Jesus is 12 years old. Now, I mean, how many people have raised a 12-year-old at some point or another? Come on. Woo! So he runs away. 3 days he's gone. Now imagine you're a mother and it's like, my son is gone for 3 days. 3 days. Finds him in a synagogue praying. Okay? Now, we don't hear again from him until So you know, my parents. So I picked on sister, thinking, out of all the Catholic people in here, I am certainly glad that she is not teaching the 5th grade. Okay? Hey Mary, do you know? Excuse me. Can you stand up when you talk to me? It's better. Yes, it was the Eucharist. Very good. However, to say it while sitting down and screaming at me like that. Would you do that? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. I remember my mother when I was doing it. We'd have to practice. Now, I know that we practiced taking it on our tongue before. Everybody on your tongues? There are no young people, I think, back there. You probably didn't do it, but you know, they put the host on the tongue, right? And it takes practice. Not only does it take practice for the person receiving it, but I can't imagine how many hours they have practiced trying to place that sucker on. Don't touch me. I'm really glad. So now it's a little bit more cleanly. More cleanly way to do it. Just kind of do this. So it's a little bit better. But I remember my mother trying to practice, trying to teach us how to do that. And you know when you buy a nice shirt at JCPenney or Target, it would come. The shirts would come folded up, and they had those cardboard bits. My mother took those things and cut out circles. To practice on them. And go, okay, here, now she's practicing too, and I'm like, really? Mom, come on, get your fingers up in my mouth. But she put that on there, and I remember asking, does it taste better than this? And she would say, oh yes, dear, it tastes much better than that. She lied. Yeah, have you had any impure thoughts? What the heck is an impure thought when I'm 2nd grade? 2nd grade! 4th grade? An impure thought? I don't even know what that is, but you gotta say it. You gotta go in there and say, Father, I had an impure thought. Because, now really, I remember even going and having to lie to make up sins that I had done. Because what happens is, I had to go every Friday. Every Friday, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 7 days. In 4th grade. I had 2 impure thoughts. Let's see, what did I do? I got mad at my mom once. Excuse me, are you warm? You're fanning yourself. In the corner of my eye, I see all this flutter like there's a bird over there. You know, it is warm. Look at me. I gotta wear this stuff all the time. Why do I wear it? Because it's a habit. But you know, you guys can survive the heat. I'm wearing all this. Is something funnier there? So what you're telling me is when I asked the question before, you tried to cheat and get yes.
The cross is kind of hanging funny.
Is that causing a problem? Yes. How is that causing a problem? Took my nephew when he was little out to trick-or-treating. You could always tell he was dressed as Han Solo or something from Star Wars. And I always could tell the Catholic houses because, you know, trick-or-treat, and all so cute, and they'd give him his candy, and instead of saying thank you, he would say, may the force be with you. And all the Catholic houses would say, and also with you. Marriage. So one wonderful thing about marriage in the Catholic Church is that you have to go take a test. You got to go to the priest and say, are you going to get married? You have to take a test to see if you should get married. I can't imagine they ever turn anybody down, but you know, you go, you take your test, and you know, yes, I want to have children. They ask a question like, if you just got $1,000 bonus, what are you going to do with it? Your husband or your spouse just got a better job somewhere else, you're going to move. You know, you check all these things, and at the end they say, yeah, you got them all wrong. So you got to talk about these things. I think that's awesome. You don't really want to get married. I'm surprised that anybody would get married nowadays without actually discussing these things. I hear people getting divorced. She didn't want to have children. You didn't talk about that before you got married? It seems like it's a big deal. What I think they should do, forget about the death. This is what I think the church should do. What the church should do is you take those two people and you give them a house for a week and you say, wallpaper the kitchen. Okay? Here's exactly $200. Okay? You have a weekend. Wallpaper the kitchen. Now here, I'm going to come back at the end of the weekend. And then we're going to say, do you want to get married? Personally, I think that would be a much better test. Tell me, have you